Hey, Cleaning Nation, Mike Campion here with Jackson Pinkoski, our esteemed marketing genius. Love talking to this guy. Before we jump into the topic, I was going to ask him this off air, and then I'm like, for those that are watching YouTube, might be interested. I'm saying it backwards, but it looks like some script on your hat saying Northeast and then the LA Dodgers, which is weird. I know you love baseball. I don't really see a lot of guys wearing lots of different, like, I thought you were a Brewers hat. I've seen you in the Yankee, like, what's going on?
Yeah, so my two favorite teams are the Brewers because I live in Milwaukee, and the Dodgers because I'm from LA. And the Dodgers are in town this week against the Brewers, so I've been
you
repping.
Put the Dodgers hat on. Bold
yeah,
move.
yeah,
Bold
yeah.
move. All right. And what about the Yankees? I'm not a baseball guy, but from what I understand, either you're a Yankees fan or you hate the Yankees. So, like, I didn't know the Yankees could be in a rotation of teams people liked.
Yeah, I don't not like the Yankees, and I don't like the Yankees, but I was in New York for a work trip, and it's like a baseball fan's dream to go to a game at Yankee Stadium, and I've never been. And so I stepped out of my comfort zone. I went alone, and I went to a baseball game alone, which was kind of weird. It's like going to a movie theater alone.
Yeah, I've never done that. I haven't done a movie, never a baseball game.
But I was there. I was like, I got to get a hat at Yankee Stadium because when else would I be able to?
And if you're going to buy the hat, you got to wear it sometime. All right.
Yeah,
now it's all
exactly.
Because I'm the same way. Like, I would go to Yankee Stadium in New York. Like, I get that even if I wasn't a fan. Like, you got to go. And then I don't know if I'd buy the hat though, but if I did buy the hat, I would feel obligated to wear it. I couldn't just like display it. All right. I'll be able to sleep tonight. So for those of you that are wondering if you tuned into Mike and Jackson's baseball talk, you have for the first 2.5 minutes, whatever we did. But I promise we're going to jump into marketing. And it's funny what Jackson said about stepping out of our comfort zone. That's really what I want to talk about today, in that one of the big, and I love having Jackson because I kind of come with more of a global business perspective. And then Jackson does a great job focusing what we're talking about on marketing, how it works. So the global business perspective I wanted to give is people are famous for making changes where they're comfortable. But the reality is where they're comfortable is usually where they're good at, right? Like, if I'm really good at sales, I might want to spend a bunch of time learning sales. But if I'm already an 8.5 as an owner, getting to a 9 is a lot of work, right? It's a lot harder to get from 8.5 to 9 than it is to get from a 2 to a 6. And obviously the benefits of going from an 8.5 to a 9 are not as low hanging fruit. You go from a 2 to a 6 in your sales ability, you're going to notice that immediately. You go from 8.5 to a 9, you may not. So the problem is people that are really good at finances spend a lot of time on finance and they understand those numbers, which is good, but maybe they let other parts of their business go down. So the overreaching theme, and we're going to tie this into marketing, is if you want to grow, you need to look at what your business needs, not what you want to give, right? So I might like giving my wife back rubs, but she might prefer me cleaning the house. And if I'm trying to please her, I should clean the house. If I'm trying to please me, maybe I give her a back rub. Your business needs what it needs. And oftentimes we try to please it by doing what we're comfortable with or what we like doing, which, again, my wife will take a back rub. But if I'm trying to tell her I love her and that's not the way she receives love, then I don't want to say it's selfish, but it's certainly not going to get the result that I want. And if my business needs marketing, but I'm super comfortable with cleaning, there's a good likelihood I'm going to be stuck. So the big things I see when it comes to marketing, I'm going to turn it over to Jackson. Again, I try to go big picture and let Jackson give a little more specific perspective. Is I hear probably the number one thing I hear is I'm not good with numbers. The number two is I'm not good at marketing. Like, it's some sort of Jackson, I don't know about you. I was not born good at marketing. You were phenomenal at marketing. That happened at birth when you came out. Your mom initially said, "This kid's a marketer," or how did that come about? So I guess the big thing is we got to kill the lie of I'm not good at this. I would probably replace it with I'm not interested in this, right? Like, I think a lot of the reason Jackson's really good at marketing is he's fascinated by humans, and I don't do a lot of like assigning Jackson, you read this or you go here, you learn this way. It's the opposite. Jackson's into that stuff on his own. And he comes and tells me like, oh, here's what I got. And we could talk marketing all day because I'm interested and he's interested. So a big part of being good at something is just liking it, right? Like, easy for me to talk baseball to Jackson because he loves it, right? So I would encourage all of you guys to move from I'm not good at marketing to up until now, I haven't really been interested in marketing because I didn't see how it was useful to my business. But I'm sure if I decided to be interested in it, I'd be great at it. And I'm going to make a quick pitch for marketing because I'm interested in sales. So I always thought sales was what was important and marketing was chumps work. It's just their job to get leads. The salespeople are the heroes. And that did not serve me or my customers or my salespeople or my marketing team well at all. So when I started shifting to go, holy crap, if I have really good like salespeople, good salespeople are hard to hire. They're hard to train, especially in commercial because it's a long sales cycle. So you know if they're good for a long time and they need a lot of money and blah, blah, blah. It's a lot, right? It's pretty hard to get an effective sales team. I wouldn't even recommend it in commercial. But if I had a really good marketing team, I could just have anybody in the sales team. So when I shift my paradigm from I don't like marketing or I'm not good at marketing or sales is more important, that's like saying which is more important in the car, the engine or the gasoline. It's like, well, you're not going to get far without either. So it's not that kind of a question. So I would encourage all of you guys to see the value of really building something as marketing and get away from, well, I just do repeat and referral. Okay. Are you at the revenue that you want? And if the answer is yes, you don't need to worry about marketing. If the answer is no, then marketing might be an issue. Or if it's like, well, I can't hire, like whatever the problem with your business is, I would encourage you to find a way to be interested in that. And I don't want to say get good at it because that sounds hard. Just be interested in it and be curious and start walking into it. So, Jackson, when people do often begrudgingly, okay, I'll learn how to market, or like finally think they're going to do this big scary thing, which it's not, right? Like it's a skill like anything else, but it's not a magical skill. I think people think Jackson's magical. It's like, no, he's not. He's just a bright guy who enjoys doing this, who reads and learns and tests things, and just like every other human on the face of the earth. So, what message do you have to? I'll give you two kind of categories. One of I don't need marketing, or I don't want marketing, or I don't like it, or it's no good, or I'm not interested, or I could never, like any of that unhelpful beliefs. And then two, to the guys like, fine, I need marketing, and I guess I get good at it, but I don't know. Like, speak to those people.
Yeah. Well, if you're of the camp of I don't need marketing, um, that's just that's a camp that doesn't exist. So I'm gonna everybody needs it in one way, shape, or form, right? Even if you say like, oh, I only do referrals or anything, that's still a form of marketing. You're just calling it something different. You're calling it referrals. You're still selling yourself, right?
That's like
You're
saying I don't really like cars, but I like Fords. It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
you
It's like
did. It's a Ford's a
it's
car, man. Or a
yeah.
truck, you know.
It still exists. So um the people that say I don't need it, or more so, I would say they they don't need more marketing. Again, it boils back down to, well, are you truly happy with where your business is,
Hmm.
right? Because the way you grow your business, I mean, to put it as plain as you grow your business by getting more people to see it and getting more people to sign up for it, right? And getting more customers, right? How do you get more customers? You get more people to see and be aware of your business and realize that they need it. How do they do that? Usually some form of marketing, because you have to show these people these kinds of things, right? You have to show them why it's important. And so if you don't think you need to do that, and if you're comfortable with your businesses, then fine. You don't need to. Be happy, be comfortable, be there. But if you're at the end of the day, you're looking at your books and you're thinking, man, I really need more customers, that's what honestly should be your driving factor, is the end goal to get you interested in whatever it is that you need to do should be the end goal of what you're going to get. So with marketing, you'll get more customers. So that's what you need to be looking at. It's like, I'll get more customers if I just put a little time and energy into learning this and learning how to do this. And then that moves you into the camp of, okay, fine, I'll get started, but I don't really know what I need to do. Um, and that is, I mean, that's a little more difficult, I would say, because yeah, you go online, you look it up, and there are thousands of people out there telling you what you need to do, what you need to advertise on, how much you need to spend. I'm an expert, I'm a guru, I'm this, I'm that. Pay me all this money and I'll do it for you, kind of thing. Um, but you don't need to be an expert. It takes a long, long time to be an expert in anything, any given field, right? So if, I've been doing this for 7 years, 8 years now, and I'm still not an expert in it. I'm pretty good at it, but there's still a lot to learn, and it's always changing, always evolving. And there are people out there that are a lot smarter than I am with this. So you don't need, that's where a lot of people get defeated is they think they need to be on the level of someone like me or someone who's better than me. And that's just not the case. You need to be on the level of your business and what your business needs. So you need to understand, hey, I'm trying to get more families and homes in this area because these are where my customers are. And how can I do that? Do I do door hangers? Do I go knock on doors? Do I put up signs in their neighborhoods? Do I run some form of Google ads to their local areas? Do I put up a poster? All that's marketing, right? I'm not going to get into what you should do or what you shouldn't do, but all of that is marketing. And a lot of people think like putting up a sign at your local chamber of commerce, that isn't marketing. It is. And that's a form of it. And that's like a low barrier of entry of getting started into this that wouldn't overwhelm you, wouldn't make you get upset, and it would start bringing in results. And honestly, that's the biggest driving factor is once you start seeing results and understanding what the potential is, you'll want to read more, you'll want to learn more, you want to watch more videos on how to do this and how to be successful with it. And you start breaking down those barriers of this doesn't work or this isn't going to work to, man, this is really cool. I can start seeing more customers come in. I'm getting more results. And then your business grows and it's like a big snowball at that point, which is really awesome.
Hey, Clean Nation, Mike Campion here. One of my least favorite things about these podcasts are we found that people love the show and they love the information, but when I talk to you guys in person, stuff doesn't get done. People love the podcast, but they don't take any action. If you'd like to actually implement this and get this done in your world, we have a whole team of people that do exactly that. If you go to growmycleaningcompany.com/talk, you can book a time with either myself personally or one of our teammates to at least help you come up with a plan to actually implement and change your life. So if you want to go from getting these good ideas in your head to getting in your life, just book a free call with myself or my team, growmycleaningcompany.com/talk. And we can go from this one-to-many format to one-to-one and really get you some results. Excited to talk. I've been furiously taking notes as Jackson's been talking because it's brought up so many important things. Just a picture that I think will help when Jackson's like, you don't have to be an expert in marketing. You just have to be good enough to get the results that you want for your company. So because I'm too lazy to go out with humans and make an appointment and go somewhere at a certain time and blah, blah, blah. I hated getting my hair cut all the time. So for a couple of years, my wife just cut my hair because it's so easy. Like it was right here. And she didn't go to hairstyling school. She's not an expert. I'm sure all the other haircut people would make fun of her and be like, there's no good, but no one ever noticed. I was happy. It was just super quick and easy. Perfect example of could she go tomorrow and be like, well, I cut Mike's hair, I'm going to go be a style. Like, of course not. She just doesn't have the skill set. But could she cut my hair? And was that a good enough, so like, you don't need to be like Jackson. He helps our people, both residential and commercial. And I would say he's an expert in that field. I don't know if there's a ton of people that know more about our specific thing in marketing. And he could also sell a product on Facebook for a multi-million-dollar company. He could also sell branding he could do a bunch of stuff that I love your humility, Jackson. I'm like, hey, I'm pretty good at this. I know some things, but there's a lot of people smarter than me. And again, for everyone listening, when it comes to coaches for cleaning companies, I'm pretty proud. I don't know if there's anyone better, but coaches in general, oh my gosh, there's a million people better than me. Or just even at business, there's a million people better than me, right? So I love that point of it. But again, do I have to be the best in the world? No. I just want to be the best at helping owners of cleaning companies, which is a very small niche. So you don't have to be a genius marketer. I would rather you be way not as experienced as all the other good marketers out there, be like, I know how to get leads for my company and I know how to go all the ones I want. So I think that's a great point. You don't have to be able to cut everyone's hair, just that head of hair that you want to cut, and it's okay, right? And even if other people make fun of you, other marketers are like, that's dumb, or it's not sexy, or you don't know the newest and greatest thing. It's like, I'm getting all the leads I need for a cost that makes me money. Don't you worry about nothing, right? My wife was like, my husband's happy. His hair, I like the way his hair looks. He likes the way his hair looks, saves him from going out in the world and being a pain in the butt. It's fine, right? So just don't judge yourself. That would be the first thing on the marketing of, just be good at getting what you need, not the world. Second, Jackson said something important that I think could scare or overwhelm people. He said something that's true, is that marketing always is evolving, right? Like, just look at websites. There was a time when nobody had a website. Like, what's a website? And then there was super big companies had a website. And then you were really cool if you had a website. And then most companies had a website, and then obviously everyone's got a website, and now it's nobody goes to a website. It's all on social media. So just an evolution, everything's changing. So the skill of building websites over the last 20 years, its value, its abilities is really morphed. But the marketing, that's not really marketing. A website is just a tool. the skill of speaking to humans in a way that's compelling hasn't changed an ounce, right? Like everyone's into podcasts. Great way of we're on a podcast now, right? You know what that used to be called? Radio. Right. And if I was going to do a live read today, the concepts I would use on a to put an ad here would be very similar to what you'd hear on a radio ad 20 years ago. Everyone's into like Google, pay-per-click, SEO. You know what we used to call that? The yellow pages.
Yeah.
And you know what worked in the yellow pages? Headline, agitate the pain, call to action. Like it's the same gosh darn stuff. So I want to encourage you, when you understand the concepts of marketing, sure, do you want to be aware that in the world there's a thing that exists called X or Facebook or whatever the case may be? Of course, like fine.
Yeah.
But the tenants, if you're selling, you know, like people go, well, I'm in this province or I'm in this country. Will it work for me? I'm like, I don't know. Are you selling to humans? Like, yeah, I'm selling to humans. Like, yeah, this will work because it's all about how humans think. So I just want to encourage you. Certain things change and they're, I wouldn't say easy to keep up with, but they're reasonable to keep up with. But the concepts of marketing and how people make decisions and what influences them to move, really, you can read marketing books from 100 years ago that are very, very effective today.
I would reemphasize that like 10,000 times fold, because I guarantee you read 5 marketing books, they all say the same thing in a different way. And I market for a wide variety of people and the same principles apply. It is so much more important that you understand who you're talking to and why you're talking to them versus like how you build it out or what platform you build it out, right? Because that's what stays constant 100%.
Everybody focuses on platform. I get an SEO guy. Should I spend? I'm spending $1,000 a month on SEO. Should I spend it? Should I buy SEO? And I go, well, who's your client? What do you mean? Who's your client? Commercial, right? But the human being, like, who are you selling to? People that need commercial cleaning, right? What do they want? Commercial cleaning. Like, ugh, okay. So they don't know what their message is. Like the biggest red flag I see with any marketer, and this is what I love about Jackson, what we do is we're pretty good at knowing exactly what commercial and residential people want, what their pain is, how we solve it, blah, 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 blah. My biggest concern with a marketer is when they just start taking your money. I was talking to a guy the other day, he's spending $3-4 grand a month on pay-per-click for commercial cleaning companies, which I don't think is Jackson's already making a face. Not because there's anything wrong with pay-per-click. It's just a terrible fit for commercial cleaning companies. That's all. And his guy that he's spending money to run those ads didn't ask a single question like, can I talk to your clients? Can I have a phone number? Can I get a transcript of a pain conversation you've had? Like no data on the problem they solve. It's just like, I'm a hammer. Everything's a goddamn nail. I'm going to put a Facebook ad. And believe it or not, and I'm not a good Facebook paid ads guy. Jackson's far, far, far better. But if you say it was a different market than neither of us, hair salons, say Jackson, I don't know if Jackson's specifically marketed them, say he hasn't. And he is better than I am at all things paid ads. I'll just say it out loud in front of Jackson. It's not even close. But, and you can tell me if you disagree, Jackson, I believe if you didn't let him talk to any hairstylists, but I could interview your top 10 customers, I would do a better job at paid marketing than Jackson. And he is way more skilled at paid marketing than I am. Point being, and I'm going to get Jackson's perspective, but the point being, mastery over the platform is good. Like if I could have someone that knew my client and had mastery, that's the money. Like I'm still gonna use Jackson. But if for some magical world he couldn't talk to hairstylists or go into their blogs or really understand he had no methodology to talking to them or hearing from them, I'm gonna crush him. If I have that information and I have to just Google, how do I run a Google ad? How do I run a Facebook? I'm still gonna crush him. And I'm terrible at this. So it's, again, you want mastery of the platform, but if you don't know who you're speaking to and what they're paying or how to write compelling copy, I don't see it succeeding. Did I overstate? Please, if you disagree, I'd love to hear it.
No, because that's essentially at that point, I'd be taking a shot in the dark and I'd be just using like my experience and a giant guess as to what, like, I think I know what hairstylist, but like you actually speaking to the customers and potential customers and things like that, it gives you a leg up and you immediately know. And yeah, anything you run or do would be substantially better than what I would do. Not to say that it wouldn't grow into something better, but it would start you off on a worse foot.
Yeah. So with enough money spent in 6 months and enough trial and error, Jackson would catch me and pass me for sure. For sure. But again, that trial and error is just literally asking client. He's now communicating with the clients. He's putting out an ad, they're responding or not. So technically he would never pass me because in our fake scenario, oh, you can't use that data because that's feedback from a customer. You can't get feedback from a customer. Now he's never going to win because he's just like, I just guess and I have no idea. Like it's like blinders on. So I just want to encourage you. Tech evolves, human don't. Humans do not. Last thing I wanted to say, I've got one more point, and I'm going to finish a question for Jackson, which is a big one. Just to be clear, marketing isn't getting leads, sales is converting leads. So they're very different. And again, if it's a very simple sale of buy this t-shirt for $10, marketing can get and technology can sell. But for commercial and residential, for the sales stuff, you're gonna want a salesperson. And again, a big pet peeve of mine, I won't get into too big now, but I just want to do everything online. I don't want to do any sales. I just want to be marketing. It's like, great. If you want a bunch of one-time cleans from price shoppers that are going to try and screw you and leave bad reviews, don't have a salesperson. Just do it all with marketing. So for owners of cleaning companies, you're going to want a salesperson. That said, I built lots of sales teams and I built marketing teams. And it is so much easier to hire one good marketing like Jackson and let him do his job than just churning and churn. Because Jackson does not need me to hold his hand or pat his head or throw more and more money or worry that he's going to take all my clients with him. He just does a great job and that'll be that. And Jackson's amazing, but most marketers are that way. It's not like Jackson's that's just that's the marketing relationship. Salespeople, they either stink, and there's a lot of bad salespeople out there, or they're great and they need a ton of money and you have to hold their hand and they're always getting offers from other people. And there's just a lot of emotional, like I don't think I've given Jackson really any emotional support in our, maybe on a friendship level, but on a business level to do his job. It's okay. You're going to do it. But with salespeople, that's it 24/7, guy. You got high performing salespeople. There's a lot of that. So if you had to pick between building a marketing team and a sales team, oh my gosh, build a marketing team. And then I don't say anyone can sell, but I'd rather an average to poor salesperson with great marketing than the best salesperson with poor marketing. Because you can get a guy that can do it all and he doesn't need marketing. He'll kill it, sell it, drag it home, but he's going to want all the profit and he's going to leave quick. It's just a lot of maintenance. So just wanted to throw that distinction between sales and marketing and why marketing is so important. And if I could choose between having all the leads I wanted or a really good salesperson, I'm going to choose the leads every goddamn time. And again, not to say sales is important. I prefer sales, but in the hierarchy of thing, average salesperson with lots and lots of great leads is going to crush a phenomenal salesperson with very few low quality leads. And it's just, as a business owner, the way you'll experience that is so much better with lots of quality leads. Okay, last rant, and then I'm going to as promised, I'm going to ask a question for Jackson. For those who are saying, oh, I have a marketing guy that does that. Like, I don't need to know marketing. I'm just going to hire Jackson. I don't need to know anything about marketing. What say you to that man or woman?
I always equivalent to hiring an accountant or a bookkeeper. It's like you don't need to know how to file taxes or how to you don't need to be an expert in those kinds of things, but you want to be able to look at your books and know if money is coming in or out and just be able to glance at it and like understand I'm making money or I'm not making money.
If you can't do math, but your accountant can do math, that's not a great situation.
Yeah, so it's the same things with marketing. You don't need to be an expert on this, but you should be able to understand and look and see what your marketing is doing, whatever it may be, whether it be online or in person or physical or digital. You should be able to look and see, hey, I'm spending X amount of dollars and I'm getting X amount of results back, and understand, it's good or bad. And you want to look at it too. A lot of people overlook this, and I try and, cleaning companies, non-cleaning companies, they overlook what they're paying for leads and then what they're also paying for the marketing or the person, right? So they'll say, oh, I spent $500. I got 500 leads. That's awesome. Well, really, you spent $500 to get those leads, but then you also spent another $5,000 on the guy to get those leads for you. Spent $5,500. That's actually a lot more expensive than you originally thought.
Yeah, imagine how many leads you could get if you just spent the $5,500.
Yeah, exactly. So keep that. I'm not digging if you have a marketing guy or anything, because we're great. We do great jobs, but you got to understand where it's going. And the good, I will say, the good marketing people out there, they will be the first ones to tell you if something is not working. And if you haven't heard bad news from your marketing guy in your entire relationship, then there is something, I will 99% sure there is something going wrong and you need to find it out.
Proactively. When you find the mistake and go to them, not great already. And when they start explaining to you everything's great, but you're not making money, really not great. So yeah, from worst to best, worst is everything's fine. Don't worry about it. Just keep writing checks. I'm not even interested in the data. Like, I'm just telling you everything's fine. Like, you told me to put 17 posts and I put 17 posts. Yeah, but nobody called, or I don't have any conversations, or there's no leads. You told me to put 17 posts. Like, that's not a marketer. I don't know. That's a dude making posts on social media. You coming to them and going, oh my gosh, you're right, 1,000% better, but still confused. You going to them and they go, yep, we already are aware. Here's what we got. Here's the data. Here's what we're doing. Just don't want to bother you. Better still. And then the best is them coming to you going, yeah, there's a problem. Here's what we're doing. What do you think? So couldn't agree more. Same with cleaning. I don't want you guys cleaning. But should you know enough? If a guy's like, this place takes 9 hours and it really takes 4, you should really know that. Or if a guy says, this is impossible to clean, should you know it's possible to clean? Yeah, you should. So yeah, that marketing basis is important for kind of like all business. Like if I could only pick one skill for a business owner, it'd probably be never giving up. If I could pick it, that's not really a skill, it's more of a trait. If I could pick an actual skill in the world, sales would probably be number one, not for client attraction, but for customers, employees, vendors. Like, you're selling your vision. Marketing would probably be number 2. And if I just wanted to grow a company, marketing would be number 1. Like, if that was my only growth, it's just sales does so many other things that, yeah. Anyway. All right, guys, gals, as always, if this has been helpful, you can binge watch 100 of them and feel better about yourself and make no changes, or you can take an action right now and be like, you know what? I need some help. If you're not getting the results that you want, call us, call somebody else, do something different, buy a marketing book, take an action right now before you listen to the next one. If you want anything from us, growmycleaningcompany.com. Check us out on Instagram. We've got people there that will message you. Just reach out and say, hey, we're here for you. Talk soon. Hey, Cleaning Nation, if you dug the content you just got, we don't do any ads and I don't sell anything on this podcast, but if you would just subscribe, rate, and review, it would be huge and I'd be so appreciative. Not only is it going to help me, but you'll help other owners of cleaning companies across the world work less, make more, and get profitable. So if you appreciate the value we give, again, subscribe, rate, and review. It would mean the world to me. I'd really appreciate it. And we sure appreciate your time and attention.